And this is something that nobody tells you in your late 20s to early 30s. I wish that somebody would tell us that these are the years of our lives, especially as women, where we are most likely going to hit rock bottom, undergo a massive transition of our identity, and have to basically reinvent ourselves. Because as women, we are so deeply conditioned to be a certain way and to act a certain way that we lose our essence, only to find ourselves questioning who we really are and what we're really here to do, and have to figure it out later in life. And so that's why I created the I Am Her Collective community, and it's currently the space that is actually providing me, along with countless other women, with the support and the tools that we wish we had earlier on to navigate through this transition in life called our awakening, or whatever you want to call it. And so in this video, I want to help you with some ways that I am actually bouncing back and have been able to navigate this huge transition in my life of figuring myself out and becoming my best self in a way that is aligned to me, so that you can help learn how to navigate through yours. So I'm going to share with you how I've been navigating the mental, emotional, and physiological chaos that ensues when you are undergoing a reinvention process. And I'm going to share with you what I've started to do and what I've stopped doing to help me do that, and how I handle the ebbs and flows going from clear to uncertain again and again and again during this process of your life, which is inevitable, by the way. You can't escape that. It's going to happen, but trust that it is perfectly as it should be. Hey, I'm Nicole, and welcome to my channel. I'm a life and transformation coach for women, self-proclaimed foodie, content creator, educator, and your new YouTube bestie. I help everyday women step into more abundance, flow, and embodiment of their most authentic selves. In my world, we talk about all things to do with elevating your life. I post weekly videos helping the everyday woman embody her highest self, create inner wealth, master her mindset, unlock her femininity, and be an absolute boss in life. I create resources, trainings, and host experiences online and in person in order to help you reconnect to your true self. Not the one you think you need to be, but the one you were born to be, so you can reclaim your power and amplify your voice to lead, love, and create as a woman. Whether you've been stuck in an uninspiring pattern, want to reclaim your power back, or need a new vision for your life again, if you like my vibe and you want a little bit more abundance in your life, hit subscribe to be notified whenever I drop a new episode. If you're ready to step into your next level, keep watching. Now let's get into today's video. I liken this entire journey to being like a toddler again and figuring out who you are, learning the language of the world, except this time you're wiser, you're smarter, you know who you actually are, or at least a sense of who you really are, versus what you've been told to be and how to act. And navigating your life as a 27 or 25 something year old at this point in time gets to be a little bit different. Even though emotionally, spiritually, identity-wise, you might feel like a blank slate again after a quarter-life crisis, you get to essentially reinvent yourself and create the new rules for your life. You design the script and the role that you play rather than playing the role that somebody else told you to play, adhere to your whole life, even if it compromised your joy, your peace, and your fulfillment. So here are some of the things that I have stopped doing after my quarter-life crisis to help me become my best self. Number one, worrying about the stuff that you cannot control. I stopped worrying about things like traffic, about my calories, about where I was going to go next, or who was going to be at an event. Purely because I think when you're at a quarter life crisis, it feels like there is nothing more important than purely just making it through the day. Like your basic survival needs, like taking care of yourself, taking care of your well-being, having the will to live, the clarity just to make it through a week, feeling good about yourself, having simple support networks that actually help you, and filling your cup soulfully. Some of these things are your baseline needs that need to be met. And it's kind of like the pyramid of needs. I have this framework that I've modeled after Maslow's hierarchy that I actually teach in the Becoming Her process. And this human needs pyramid shows us that if our basic needs are not met, then we are not going to be able to function at any of the higher level of states. And so usually when you're coming out of or in the midst of a quarter life crisis, usually you're just trying to meet those basic needs. And that is one of the reasons why you're not going to want to, or if you find yourself wanting to care about other things and worrying about things, you're just gonna get frustrated that you're worrying about them to begin with. So that's why it's easier to let go of the worry or the expectation to have to be concerned with things that just are not even within your control. That's gonna give you back some of your power. I want you to practice being in the present moment and learning to really exist in the here and now so that you can give yourself a sense of ease in the present moment and actually be able to just meet these basic needs of yours. A client of mine told me that she was constantly, chronically worried about everything, and it stopped her from being able to just enjoy what was happening before her. She was living the life that she wanted. She had created the business. She was making the income she wanted, and yet none of it was enjoyable, and she didn't know why. And then I asked her, could the reason be because you are constantly living in your mind, worrying about something that is not happening right now, rather than actually being in your body and experiencing what is in this present moment? So practice mindfulness and being present, and essentially mindfulness is just being fully present and alert in the here and now. Practice that, and I promise you it will feel so much easier to go through this journey. The second thing that you need to let go of is expecting yourself to make decisions quickly. As women, our natural rhythm is on a monthly basis. This isn't to say that you need to wait a month to make a decision. This is more to say that you are very different to men. Men can be very linear and logical. Their cycle happens on a 24-hour scale, whereas for women, you might be at a time of your hormonal cycle that requires you to rest and reflect and rejuvenate rather than needing to make big decisions and be at your highest energy. And understanding these natural rhythms, along with understanding what are your highest values, your priorities, and what is actually the current life season that you are in where you need to direct your energy to, that's going to help you navigate through this season as well. One of the ways that you can do that is actually do some research. You can utilize things like human design and find your human design type, which is your energetic blueprint, how your energy actually works and moves through your body. And this is different for every single person depending when and where you are born. And understanding that you might have consistent energy in some areas of your energy centers and that are more influenced and susceptible to the influence of others. And so when you understand this, you can use this to factor in your decision-making processes and actually work according to your energetic blueprint and actually get in flow with that. Another way to do this is through using astrology and understanding the way that your astrological signs and chart actually works. You might be heavily influenced by the moon and the transits or things like that. And if astrology is not for you, then perhaps you can adopt another practice that is somewhat similar. Perhaps it's going to a spiritual mentor or going to some sort of spiritual community or leadership that guides you. Everyone has their own way of understanding themselves. For some people, it's through productivity tracking, it's through understanding their energetic blueprint, their astrological blueprint, having spiritual guides. Whichever way you form a level of understanding to yourself, know that your experience of right now does not have to be just black and white. There are so many more layers and factors involved, even if just at the baseline level you understand your hormone cycles as a woman. This is going to affect you massively. So even get your partner involved in it, and I literally have been doing this, telling my partner all the things about my hormone cycles and helping him understand my human design and how to communicate with me, and it's just been a game changer for our relationship and the way that he's able to support me through this time. Because what happens when you don't is you just feel like there's something wrong with you, and you also don't know how to ask for help or how to be supported in the right way. The third thing is ignoring your gut feelings. You need to learn to tune into your body, because your body holds so much wisdom that your mind may not be able to process or communicate to you. I've been learning this so much in the last few months, especially as I move out of such a masculine mind level way of consuming information and making decisions. I'm constantly speaking and trying to intellectualize information, and these days I'm learning to be in my body. And as a woman, this is massive for us, especially because our bodies are truly our greatest guides. Even to the smallest degree of understanding what our emotions are trying to say to us and where emotions are stored in our body. Emotions equals energy in motion. So when you can understand where energy or where emotion is being stored or blocked in your body, maybe there's tension, maybe there's a sense of contraction in different parts of your body, understanding that this is your body trying to communicate something and that there is something that needs to be released here, like you literally need to release a part of your body or release an emotion that's trapped in that part of your body, then you get to understand a little bit more than what your mind may not initially understand. So doing some form of embodiment work or somatic work is really helpful. Soma as relating to the body as a different entity compared to, in contrast to the mind. And there is somatic therapies out there that speak to the wisdom of the body. For example, if you're wanting to know what part of you is feeling uncomfortable right now about a certain decision that you have to make, your mind might try to rationalize and give you pros and cons, whereas if you actually just check within your body, what shows up in my body, what part of my body feels tight and tense, what emotion is being present right now, how does that emotion want to be expressed? Does it want to be expressed through movement, through noise, through shouting? And could you hold space for that uncomfortable emotion in your body and say that it's okay for it to be there, rather than suppressing it, rather than pretending it doesn't exist, rather than trying to rationalize it? Could you hold space for it? Because the reality is, most of the time, the reason why we are not processing things fully and we're jumping to decisions that don't actually serve us is because we're disconnected from our body, which is having a different reaction to our mind, which might be trying to rationalize and protect us or make some sort of decision to protect our ego. So it's really helpful, especially as a woman, to understand your body. And embodiment is something that we really stand for in the I Am Her Collective, because again, so many of us are trained to only live and operate from the mind level when the body is a whole other playing field, and it is so much more wise than the mind, because the mind can be easily tricked, whereas the body does not lie. There's a great book by Bessel van de Kolk, I can't pronounce his name, but it's The Body Keeps the Score. And there's a quote that says, "The body's stress response to trauma can continue to circulate long after the traumatic event has passed." Essentially, we're always experiencing trauma, whether big or small. We're always experiencing things that are traumatic, and our bodies are keeping hold of that trauma unless we are processing them and releasing them. And that's why sometimes we have repressed emotions or repressed experiences that we're having on the day-to-day life, and we're wondering, why the heck am I crying? Why am I so sluggish today? Why am I so put off by that thing? Or why do I just have no energy? Sometimes that is somatic release that needs to happen. So if you're interested in this, you definitely want to look into that work, and you can always join our I Am Her Collective community, where we talk about this kind of stuff and get experts sharing on how you can actually learn to connect with your body somatically and in an empowering way as a woman. I've let go of people pleasing and saying yes to everything. I have become more aware of when I am tempted to overcommit beyond my capacity, and rather than just saying yes, 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 and being the gold star girly who just wants to be the apple of everybody's eye and wants to impress everybody and to make everybody happy, I just accepted that I'm going to disappoint some people in this season. I'm going to especially disappoint the people who are used to the way that I operate and say yes to everything. And this is a harsh truth that other people are going to have to accept once you step into your awakening and your becoming as a woman. But the first step is you accepting that this is going to be a reality. And so we need to let go of the need to be approved and accepted by everybody else. And we need to learn to be approved and accepted by ourselves first. I actually teach a framework in the Becoming Her process called the Life by Design framework. And it starts with a simple foundation of what are your top three? What are your big three? Your big three is your top three values right now that you want to honor, your top three priorities that you want to keep top of mind, and your top three emotions that you want to hold sacred. These big three are essentially going to be your guide. It's how you're going to create a life by design your way, so that you can know what exactly is your priority at this point in time and honor that priority. So many times we're tending to everybody else's priority and not our own. So use that as a tip. And if you're interested to know more about that life by design, you can always book a life realignment call with me. I do this for free, and I can help you get clear on your big three. Hey, if you like this video and you want to take your life to the next level, I want to help you. To help you take the first step to unlocking the life you deserve, I'm giving you free resources, workshops, and masterclasses that you can access on demand. Elevate your life and become the best version of you. The best part is you'll have me in your corner and the support of a like-minded community around you. All you need to do is click the link below and join the free online community for women called the I Am Her Collective. Inside, we do community calls to talk about all things womanhood, dive deep into topics such as femininity, real self-love, well-being, and skills for becoming that girl. For deeper connections, relatable insights, and helpful tools, click the link below to join now. And for more videos like this, don't forget to hit subscribe and to check out the other playlists on this channel. I'll see you next time.